Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 vs 3 on Korov City. Playing as the Chaos Space Marines on Team 2, we've got Bathtub God, we have got Q-Ken as the Harlequins, and we have got OMC Dr. Nox as the Chaos Demons. On Team 1, playing as the Necrons, we have got me, we have got Carepain as the Steel Legion, and we've got Necrotechnica as the Adeptus Mechanicus Exploratus. So welcome boys and girls to Korov City, where the grass is non-existent, and the girls are, well, they're sparsely spread out through the general population. Where everyone's got a couple of strategic points to play with, in fact 3 in total in their nearest and dearest, as well as a relic for every individual, so we expect some big units to come out for us here in this game today. Got lots of contested points in the middle as well, which, to be honest, I think this mountain or this building area is probably why we don't see this map quite often, because when one team kind of gets a hold of it, I mean, what, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a critical location, and 2 slag deposits, and once you get a hold of this, it's quite difficult to take it off from someone else, so that's what we're planning for here. We've got a tarantula turret being built up by Carepain over here, getting our defences shored up ASAP as everyone is capturing their usual gubbins. Harlequins with some mimes will be thinking about doing kind of the same. Quite fast and nimble are these ladies. Or gentlemen, I don't know what... You can't really tell with a mime, can you? They've all got masks on, they've all got long hair. It's all part of the masquerade, I suppose. You're not meant to know what's behind the curtain, as it were. Lost Soul coming out, Furies are going to be doing the same. Not much to say, really, on the compositions for this engagement. As, I mean, Chaos Demons is kind of really hard to tell what they're going to go for until maybe the mid-game. After all, they can dedicate themselves to specific gods. They can go for greater demons or lesser demon focus. Chaos over here, kind of similar, except that they're less dedicated to their path. They're more focused on the Adeptus Astarte traitors. Do have a Great Harlequin coming out over on this side. Going to be doing some inspecting with his double pistols, able to summon some cheeky webway gates for transporting and ferrying troops in quick succession. We'll see that tarantula turret and decide against going anywhere near that. Chaos Space Marine is going to be moving over onto this side. With us in particular, we've got the Adeptus Mechanicus, which are very sparse in unit number, however they can bring out some big hitters in the late game. Got the Steel Legion, which, as we've seen in the past few games on this channel, able to have quite the substantial tank roster, which allows them to hold the centre and hold the line quite nicely. Well, we've got me. We've got... Oh, that's one thing. So, we played a couple of games before this, and we were having some difficulty dealing with demons. And Necrons have quite a lot of useful tools to go up against demons. I mean, these, what are only Necron warriors, the Ghost Reapers do a little bit of damage towards the demons, from what I can remember. The Immortals, as well, do a little bit of damage. The Sniper Stalkery people, whatever you call them, Death Marks, they do demon damage. And the... Oh, God. The Jumping Wheel of Death people, they also do. The vehicles from the Summoning Corps in Tier 1, or Tier 2, sorry. We'll see them anyway. Got some high pass pits, having a look around this Magus Explorator. Staring at these dwarven-esque faces, mouth wide open. Maintenance Servitors looking to see if they can do some scouting. Chaos Space Marines, though, they have the high ground, Anakin. No one able to take them on as of yet. But both sides of this central point are being taken on. Got some bloodletters coming in. Now, these guys are absolute beasts in close combat, especially when they've got their Herald of Khorne in there.
With fire and plasma.
Do a lot of close combat damage, basically good against everything. And when they do some close combat damage, they regen a little bit of health, which is fairly strong, I do have to say, because even if you can out DPS them in close combat, well, with their health regen, they are able to kind of mitigate that somewhat. So defeating these guys in close combat is a real tricky challenge. Yeah, these guys will be ripping and tearing their way through all these Necrons. They also have like a little slurp. I think it's the Herald of Khorne that when he hits someone it slows them down a little bit, which makes it now impossible to escape his clutches once engaged. Necron warriors, one remaining, trying to get those Ghost Reapers online. Another high pass pistol, which will come in and save this lowly Necron. There we go. Been joined by a friend, but the central section is now firmly within the hands of the Harlequins, Demons, and Chaos Space Marines, going for the warp plasma generators as everyone manoeuvres over onto this side of the map. I'll try to capture some critical locations. Remember that critical locations are just as important as the relics, as a lot of really big units require a relic and a critical location. What are our options here? We've got high pacifists which are going for the long las rifles, which ideally what you want to do with these Khorne bloodletters especially, I mean, you've got to basically kill them before they get into close combat with you, because the moment they get there, then you're basically knackered. Unless, of course, you've maybe got a fairly robust melee unit that can just kind of tank their damage while you unload hellfire upon them. We shall see how things go in later games. Going to see a couple of extra machine reliquaries, if anything, just so that they can pump out multiple units at the same time. And cultists and chaos lords are bound over on the right-hand side of the map. Dr. Nox giving some requisition, or at least requesting some, just so he can build up all his good stuff. What have you gone? Can we see what you've gone for? Not at the moment. I do believe he goes for a lesser demon focus. And he's obviously committed himself to Khorne because the lesser bloodletters have turned into full-blown actual bloodletters. So, blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne in this game. Everyone just kind of chilling out at the moment. We're trying to build up our forces so we can try and assault this central point once again. It is quite critical that we do take that. NFT fan has been shaken up, humming and drumming with electricity.
The words of the Hereticus scrap code.
Necron Lord coming out. We are seeing me bringing up some flayed ones. Now, my idea with the flayed ones is, one, for flanking maneuvers inside bases, and also because they reduce morale to anyone nearby. One, the bloodletters have basically no morale in them. They are unable to regain health. So, trying to mitigate that health bonus for them by using flayed ones. Also got some death gestures in the middle. Smoking barrels like giant bongs, ready to bring forth the damage coming on. I will actually fast forward this just a smidgen. I don't remember this standstill lasting for so long. Here we go. We've got a Necron Lord coming out over yonder, coming to see if he can get up to some mischief. Bloodletters, though, will see him with the Demon Lord. Getting a good charge animation in there. Phase shift being activated on this lad, and he will teleport over onto this side. Going to be very careful with the Bloodletters, especially when the Herald of Khorne is in there. He does have a knockback or knockdown feature, which kind of stuns you. Flayed ones now being summoned within the back lines. Going to be looking to see if we can do some damage to the production and the productivity. So I just said the same word twice then, didn't I? I was attempting to do a simile. Not a simile, a synonym. Failing miserably, as usual for speaking. But yeah, we are going to be focusing on the Demonic Shrine and the Lesser Demon Portal. These flayed ones trying to chase around this Lost Soul, but Lost Soul far too quick. Fury's coming in, trying to see if they can keep these guys occupied just for a smidgen of time. And the Bloodletters with their Demon Lord going to be striking down the flayed ones. How much morale damage has been done to them? No, actually not a terrible amount. But the flayed ones aren't really able to stand up to all that much punishment against these guys, especially now that a Venom is coming in. Harlequins working in tandem with the forces of Chaos. Flayed Ones trying to get that Great Demon portal down. Just attempting to slow down these demons as these Bloodletters are causing us a real problem at the moment. All the Flayed Ones down here have been killed. Got some Death Jesters coming in, so the Flayed Ones will attempt to teleport away. And at this moment in time, like I said earlier on, Necron Lord being surrounded by everyone. A very angry gangbang, if I have to say so myself. He's unable to teleport away as he's just been constantly smacked on his backside. And this is a death most unbefitting to a noble of a Necron house. They will be killed. Left to fester on the floor. We did a little bit of damage. I mean, we got. I mean, he's already rebuilding his. I mean, what's his current economy at the moment? Yeah, I mean, he had to spend some of his economy on rebuilding that stuff, but he's still got quite a sizable amount left. Not really dealing all that much damage. Would have probably been better if I focused on the relic and stuffs rather than anything else. But hey ho, every day is a learning day. In fact, speaking of the economy, let's have a look at the economies. 60% and 80, 211 and 80, 133 and 105, 92 and 71, 79, 259 and 220, and 137 and 0. But like we say, demons don't really do all that interesting things with the energy. Don't collect it, they sacrifice blue money to the Chaos Gods. Do have some sneaky stormtroopers just chilling out in the demon base there. Probably fearing for their lives, not sure what exactly they're going to be achieving in such low numbers, but we do have the Ancient Pyramid, and we have also teched up at the same time as well. So be expecting to see some interesting heroes. We have gone for the Neolafek Dynasty, which is Trazin the Infinites Thingamadoofah, but to get him we do need a critical location. So that is a thing that we will have to keep in mind. Chaos now deciding to push forward. Cultists screening the advance. Predators in the middle of them. Hypaspists low in number. But a big zap from that STC searcher. And there we go, firing a freaking laser beam at the Force of Chaos. Doing lots of morale damage. AoE stuff as well. Look at these guys already on half health. But they will take it down. Havoc Marines bringing the heavy fire. Got some Hellstalkers now jumping from the air. In fact, triple Hellstalkers, Jesus. It's like eight-legged freaks all over again. Firing and maiming, trying to kill these guys, but Hellstalkers are quite tenacious beasts all the same. Going on over here, we've got the Bloodletters charging in. We did try and have a look at that critical location, but we have been forced back by the sheer amount of demons that are on this side. Predators trying to fall back as these Hypaspist Alphas, with their very shiny backpacks, do manage to take down a Chaos Predator. The Hellstalkers getting low on Wi-Fi bandwidth. We'll need someone to come back in to recharge them. Ah, there we go. Able to... Did they half their morale there? Can't quite tell. But it did something. Also got a Lehman Russ King pattern. Just quite an interesting one. Don't think we've seen one on the channel before. Quite a stout tank. It's got a little backpack on the... well, on the back. Yeah, nice. Very pretty stuff going on there. Tank Ace on the way. Got a Locust Heavy Destroyer. Keeping an eye on any of those big units that are soon to be coming out. Got Mockingbirds, got Venoms, we've got Wraith Walkers, and a... what was it called? A Slaughter Fiend. And the Chaos Demons now begin their wicked advance. The calm before the storm, ladies and gentlemen. Triple Wraith Walkers are going to be bringing their swords down as well. Got some Pariahs in the hopes that maybe that they will be able to hold the line for as long as possible while these guys get some firing in. Doom Blades, that's what these things are called. Right, okay. Got an Ancient Juggernaut being summoned in, but quickly being shunned away by Immortals and Toonblade alike. Pariah's doing their best against all these lads. Venom's jumping around everywhere, but being surrounded by high pass pists. Getting to take down that Basilisk, though, which was quite a useful thing. Got the Great Harlequin jumping in, as well as a Shadow Seer on the backlines. But a Archmagos Prime now comes in, able to provide all sorts of Wi-Fi around him, as well as an incredible repair rate should anything need fixing up. Obelisk goes down. Hell Stalkers around the flanks. Toonblade's been manoeuvred around the sides to prevent them from being shot up and sliced up by these Wraith Walkers. Flayed ones as well coming in, although not being used to their original purpose of trying to keep these demons on low morale. Do have these Flayed ones on this side there, but unsupported presently at the moment as these Wraithlords chase away these Toonblades. Slaughterfiend barely taking any damage in this engagement so far. And while this is going on, we do have the Chaos Forces trundling on into the base over here. Aestos combat drone keeping the fire alive. Over on this side we do have a lot of, what are you? You are some Shadow Dancers making havoc and mockery inside the base of the Steel Legion, using their shadow walking ability to just kind of move in unimpeded anywhere. A real nuisance are these guys and gals. Over on this side the push continues. Wraith Walkers sending all these guys quite far back. Bloodletters, though, kind of losing their drive a bit here. They need to bring back that momentum. Shadow Stalkers now having their Shadow Walk cooldown now on. We'll have to be careful with the sheer amount of fire coming in for them. They are going to go around and see what else they can destroy there. Looking for those Tarantula turrets, I assume, to soften the base up for future invasions. But their momentum is fading somewhat. Canoptic Spider hopefully going to form a bulwark against these Bloodletters. And a Spirit Walker coming in, basically a demon. Great against everything. Do have a Shadow Seer just kind of following her around a little bit. Little staff in one hand, a sword in another. Wraith Walker goes down, and this is too narrow a field for these guys to contend with. So rather than sacrificing all their units, they are going to fall back, especially with the sheer amount of anti-demon weapon we've got going on at the moment, which is quite useful. Do have some Builder Scouts over here desperately, ever so desperately, trying to capture this critical location. But sadly, OMC Dr. Nox, not a sporting player, no fun at all, will take down those Builder Scarabs, denying that critical location for a little while longer. Canoptic Spider not doing all that well against the Spirit Walker. Will be murdered quite quickly. Orbital Stalker now online. Like your regular Hellstalker, but he's doing like the YMCA for whatever reason. Well, I suppose no need to feel down, is there? And what have we got now over on this? I've got the Force of Chaos building up a Chaos Predator with all the bells and whistles on him. Going for some Horror Squads as well. Just building up their forces, waiting to come on down and make light of our flanks. Mockingbird's coming in, Spirit Walker as well as a Ancient Juggernaut. Once more into the breach. They've got their big units out. And these Necron warriors, unassisted by any flayed ones, kind of trying to rely on those Tomb Blades to burst things down before they're able to get any further. There's some Deathmats coming in now, which shall be useful in sniping these guys as the Necron warriors try and hold that line. Do now have a lot of tank support in the form of Basilisks, Destroyers, and Lehman Russ King patterns. Also got some boys being deep stricken in, as the Necrons are now more or less non-existent. We've only got Deathmarks and Tomb Blades to keep us going. Spirit Stalker looks like he's either been stunned or he's just kind of casually firing away. But will be taken down all the same. Shadowseer as well going to be taken down. And this is quite a sizable amount of infantry here. But while we are defending that section, all the way over here, Mockingbears dropping Shadow Dancers and Death Jesters into the base. Able to take care of these plasma generators very quickly. Hypaspists are going to come over in support. Deathmarks, seeing if they can snipe these ladies out of existence. Pressing the Control-Alt-Delete on them. That will scare them away just for a time. Or how would one say? Slendre Veilwalker. Not saying that ever again. Veilwalker lady, she's in. Causing some mischief. Not for much longer if she doesn't get out of there, though. Over on this side, Spirit Walkers slapping up these Lehman Russes. We do have a lot of anti-vehicle in the form of all these missile launchers on the Legionaries. More deep strikes going on down here. Hopefully going to take care of these Death Jesters. Incredible DPS on these lads, but very fragile at the same time. The assault continues. Wraith Walkers coming in, trying to continue to smack down that economy. We'll be summoning more Immortals. And the Wraith Walkers, not long for this world, will go down, as well as this Mockingbird. But a severe damage done to my economy, only 43 at the moment. But this probably is a good time to... Oh no, never mind, it's not a good time to do an economy check. We've got a push going on. A line of stalwart tanks. And missile-armed legionnaires coming in. Do have a Ancient Juggernaut, though, being summoned in. So no rest for the wicked. From in archive, taking a pounding, but we've already bought all our artifacts. Look at the length that he can jump. Quite a speedy lad, if I do say so myself. But will be taken down all the same. And here we go, making a move into the centre here. Trying to see if we can show up our economies by buying some more stuff. Look at, there we go, a Knight Paladin from the Adeptus Mechanicus. A very chunky lad. Lots of detail on his model as well. Like even on the backside where it's like just like all metal panels and stuff. Great stuff. So we're pushing in. Bloodfest of Khorne is summoned, as well as more Ancient Juggernauts. And this Imperial Knight does not want to mess around with that guy. But the Archmagos Prime will be taking him on. Bloodthirsters aren't great against individual commanders, and when being shot at by all this anti-demon stuff, he will be sent back to the Shadow Realm, kicking and screaming. But the Ancient Juggernaut causing some problems and issues. Shadow Dancers as well. But I mean, we've just got all the lads, we've got all the infantry, they can't stop us. They don't have the required area of effect damage to be able to hold us back. Hellstalker, not sure where he came from. But on the way now is a Feral Titan, which might cause us some issues. Stomping around. Unsure if he's able, if he has to do a limber to get underneath these pipes. But throwing down fire as casual as needed. Primarily good against infantry. He kind of just walks in there. A bit too forward. Now a little bit stuck. And Knight Paladin not even giving him the time of day. He's got other stuff to deal with. As the Force of Curse over here looked like they were coming in, but then been blown up by these Armageddon pattern basilisks. These guys are super high DPS. Like, I mean, the amount of damage they do to infantry is crazy. Great and clean one for Dr. Nox coming in. Diverging away from that corn theme for a second. Just to give these boys a whiff of the old cheese. Archmagos Prime trying to duel this lad, but will be taken down. And we do have the Primarch Alfarius on the field now. He's quite an interesting Primarch in the sense that one of his main abilities is that every now and then he will get infiltrated for random periods of time. So you can't really focus fire him down, which is what you normally want to do when you're going up against the Primarch. We'll train all guns against him. Mockingbirds providing that essential support, but they do not have enough in the way of staying power. They've got the big units, yes, but it takes more than a few big units to hold the line. And the Great and Clean one slowly making his way over. Necron saying, bring him down, bring him down. And they do manage to do that. Primarch Alfarius kind of just standing around, chilling out. No one can predict his motivations. No one is sure what his intentions are. It's all part of some grand scheme. Maybe he's just there just to provide vision. As the Mockingbirds go down, Leman Russ over here a little bit alone, cornered, unless he jumps off the edge, which is not going to happen, sadly. Spiritwalker will see him do his or her little twirly bits. But some support will be placed in. Oh no, not support, just another Leman Russ. There we go. Okay, economy check then. 30% on 100, 184 and 118, 151 and 0, 117 and 77, 217 and 21, and 195 and 0. So at the moment, we've got Chaos is struggling with the economy, and was I struggling with the economy? I'm kind of struggling with the economy. We'll watch from the Chaos perspective for a little bit.
Only through infamy do we gain purpose.
And the siege in the centre continues. King Pat and Leman Russes. Oh, Knight Paladin breaking out the stanky leg as he walks up that ramp. And the Necrons are now moving over, seeing if they can finally capture this critical location. Ancient Juggernauts being summoned forth, being whittled down in quick succession. Another bunch of Deathmarks coming as well, activating their supersonic speed. And one Ancient Juggernaut goes down. Another one soon to follow, but we do have some more Bloodletters coming in. They will focus once again on these Builder Scarabs, which is a very sad time for us all. Teleporting away to save their number, but not gaining that critical location anytime soon. And even though we've got a lot of lads, we're not quite able to really push forward. We can't leave our bases totally undefended. Oh, good lord, look at this cavalry charge. Coming in, we've got Iskander Chiron with his wolfy lads moving in as well. Infantry coming in for support of their plasma guns. And the forces of Chaos being pushed back quite considerably. Tank line here, they're still struggling with the Spirit Walker. Steel Legion don't really have that much in the way of anti-demon weaponry. Just gotta be very careful. Oh, what are you? You are the Shadow Seer. Ah, you're teleporting in. Giving all the colours for everywhere. But won't survive surrounded by all these horses. But yeah, so we can't really push out of our bases with without enough infantry and units in the base for defensive purposes, because the Harlequins can just come in and ruin our day. Good lord, that's quite the minefield, isn't it? Fawn Princess coming out. So yes, we've got to be quite conservative with our pushes. We've got to use a very small amount of units in a very concise manner if we want to do anything useful. Let's have a look at your models. You've got a Wolfie, you've got a Psychic Man, and you've got a Eagle Lady. Very cool. Quite like that. Got no idea what your backstory is, Mr. Kion, but I bet it's interesting. Got an Annihilation Barge. And, ooh, a Ravager Titan, who's summoned just as these Estos combat drones come in. Going to give the Northern team a taste of their own medicine with a base invasion. But probably the worst absolute time to do a base invasion is when the Titan comes out to play. We'll see a Hellstalker coming out there, seeing what it could do. Titan giving it a good few punches with its barrels. The warp shield of it is taking some damage, but we'll probably take out all these lads before warp shield goes down. Look at the regeneration rate on that warp shield as well. Very difficult to take one of these bad boys down. Oh, that's not the oh, right, so that's just when it starts to recharge. Okay, fair enough. When it's allowed to regen. Which obviously it won't when it's taking damage. I like that, that's nice. But yeah, decapping relics, some constant summonings of Hellstalkers. Actually, this Titan might be up shit's creek without a paddle. He isn't supported by anyone. All the Chaos Forces are down here just watching over the hill. Are going to see some Mockingbirds coming in there, which should certainly help taking out the vehicles. Hellstalker over here, turning his attention to the Greater Chaos Portal. But no, this attack has been repelled. Shame we weren't able to take out that Titan there. But a good effort. Stormlad's still in here though. Gonna hide in the corner. Providing that vision, waiting for more people to be summoned in from the sky. And there we go, full void shield back online then. Hellstalker still not giving up though. He's the Hellstalker that would not give up. A big push from the Force of Chaos. Over here we've got demons all around, and Scarbrand, the exiled one. Insanely useful unit. It costs about 2,000 blue and 2,000 green to summon. He also can go for his Chosen Blade, which is another 1,200 green money. It's a very expensive unit, but he has amazing health regen. He has a bunch of different abilities. Very quick jump cooldown. Absolutely lethal. Would not want to mess with him down a dark alley in the middle of the night. Chaos now pushing over on this side even further. Fawn Princess hop, skipping and jumping everywhere. While this is going on, we have finally started to move over onto this side, restore Monolith, and Necrons will be leading a counter-offensive as we finally take on a critical location. So while Scarbrand is causing all the damage, his base will be attacked. Yeah, very difficult to deal with this lad. So, I mean, he's taking a lot of damage now, but due to his mobility, once he gets out of there, he'll be quickly regenning all that health. So you've got to really focus fire on him. There's amazing damage against buildings as well. But we are assaulting. We've got a Ophidian Destroyer. Moving in, gonna... I mean, essentially we're just trying to do as much damage as we can just to hopefully convince people otherwise. Kion in the middle of the tank group. Not sure what his game was, but he did something. Wraith Walkers and the Spirit Walker coming in. Problem with these Harlequins is that they're just so nimble. You can't, no matter where you go on the map, they'll always be there to support their allies. Best friends in that regard, then. Canoptic Spider being slapped around by everyone here. An Annihilation Barge, sorry. Bringing the thunder to these Wraith Walkers. But sadly we are losing a good chunk of our number here. And the Wraith Paladin, kind of forgetting where he is. But seeing that Ravager Titan coming in, certainly a scary thing that you do not want to mess with. And in the distance, I don't know if you can see him, but Scarbrand is now over here, going to be destroying all these machine reliquaries, as he has killed a fair few of, in fact, there's none left over here now. Now it's prime real estate for the Northern team. But we do have him in the base. Adeptus Mechanicus and Necrons working in tandem. And here we are, Trazyn the Infinite finally out online. Able to make two of him, so if one of them dies, or if the main one dies, able to zap himself over to his fake one. Also able to summon a Tesseract Labyrinth, which basically stuns people or sticks them inside. Very fragile is the Tesseract Labyrinth though, so when it gets destroyed, everyone does come back out. And the Titan moving over down on this side. Restore Monolith. Caught between a rock and a hard place here. Knight Paladin saying see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Having no care or consideration for this Restore Monolith. It's been so much time getting over here. And now that he's over here, he's not all that pleased. Will be shot down, sadly. And that is unfortunate. So our main strategy at the moment will have to be reclaiming this center point. Oh, well, this point here, because now the Harlequins have got even more economy on top of all the economy that they've been sat on in the center point here. Absolutely need to break that. Then again, I imagine with the current, the floats at the moment, even if we did take out all that stuff, it wouldn't mean, or it wouldn't make that much of an impact in the immediate. Necron Monolith being taken down, but we have built up a spare one over here. Trazyn the Infinite definitely trying to show up these defenses. Got a Doom Scythe as well, coming in one of the relic units for the Necrons. Very lethal. Shadow Dance is coming out of that. Destroyed Mockingbird. And it's just, we're just playing the defensive game at the moment, with two Titans waddling their way in. Scarbrand jumping back and forth, unable to determine who he really wants to fight with. Infantry over here being burnt to a crisp. As the baby Titan and daddy Titan move in. And my spare Necron Monolith has been cast asunder. We still have lots of recruitment buildings, and the Steel Legion's base still has a lot going for it, in the form of all these defensive... I mean just look at that, it's just a line of tarantula turrets for defensive purposes. Knight Paladin and the Archmagos trying to chase around Scarbrand. We have almost killed him. He's very low on health at the moment. If we could take him out, that's going to be a huge blow to the army of the Chaos Demons, as their entire second half of this game has kind of been centered around his aggressive engagements. He's looking to fall back by the looks of things. A stream of Stormtroopers and Trazyn going to come in, see if they can take him out. He is low on health. Will throw out the Tesseract. But sadly, apparently, even if he's low on health, Tesseract will not contain Scarbrand, the exiled one. I thought it was a lot like Pokemon, where if I got him low health, I'd be able to throw something at him to capture him, but sadly not. The probably needs like a sleep or a paralyzed condition, like in the days of old when you're trying to capture the Zapdos and Articuno and whatever you call those guys. But yeah, just a bit of cleanup duty now. Feral Titan scorching up all these things here. I'm going to get some Crypto Frowls. Love a bit of Dogecoin with those guys. And what's over here? Oh, you're the Canoptic Spider. Doom Scythe continuing the chase. But sadly, Scarbrand, once he goes back home, able to regen more or less his full health. Which is a real nuisance. Armageddon and Pattern Basilisks doing what they can against the Possessed Squad. But sadly, there's not much infantry to take care of. It's the big units that we're struggling with. Archmagos going toe-to-toe with the assistance of Traz in the Infinite. It will go down. Will that Spirit Walker? But I mean, the Harlequins have got the money. They could just buy another one. It's truly a battle of attrition going on here. Knight goes down as well. Trazin also... Oh god, it's like they put on some sad emotional music as each one of our big units have been taken down one by one. And there we go. If you cannot tell by now, it is a clear and total victory for the Northern team. It's just a case of watching us get tanked and spanked all day long by this absolute chad of a unit. Which, to be fair, in this game we did have hero XP on. So, like, the more people kill, higher XP they get and the better overall they are, so he isn't meant to be that good. It's just that he just got lots of kills and stuff, which made him level up a lot quicker. But he's still absolute beast. But he is offset by the sheer amount of money that it does cost him. And if we weren't able to maybe take back this central point here, it might have been a different story. They might not have been able to have funded such a Titan on the battlefield. But yeah, we'll just we'll spend some time together. We'll just watch the Reaver Titan go up against a Storm Sword and a Storm Blade just for thematic effect. Uncaring about the damage being brought down upon it. Scarbrand continues to strike down any structure it can get its hands on. Tanks going down, Mockingbirds jumping over, leapfrogging over the cultists. And there we go. Okay, I think I shall end that there. All the big stuff has been taken care of. So yeah, if you enjoyed the game, there's a Patreon for supporting purposes. £1 a month gets you one extra game a week, and also there is a Discord where this game took place on. If you want to get involved in games like this, please feel free to come along. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. I will see you in a bit. Peace.